She's been
Okay.
taking her.
Took a chance on
And
it.
he said he must have been going through.
I have no regrets. The year I did it, I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I don't do it again.
Sure.
He must have.
Any difference with
Must have
more.
been.
Good afternoon. My name is Allison McKenzie and I am the Chair of the Historic Conservation Board. I would like to take a minute to remind everyone about the rules of this proceeding. This proceeding is at all times governed by the rules of procedure adopted by the board on September 26, 2011, last amended on March 9th, 2020. A copy of the rules of procedure is available for review in the back of the room and online. All those planning to testify today, which does not include those solely making arguments such as attorneys, should please stand now and take an oath administered by the board's attorney.
Easy for you to say.
Really?
Anyone who's gonna provide any testimony, if you could stand now and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
This is a quasi-judicial hearing. Sorry, first Monday back from vacation. As such, the board reserves the right to deliberate in private. The Ohio Rules of Evidence do not apply to this hearing. However, professional rules of conduct do apply, and candor to the tribunal is required. The board members are citizen volunteers and are not paid for their service. They are treated as public officials under Ohio law. Any attempt to influence them, including but not limited to bribery, intimidation, retaliation, which may include contacting their employer in an attempt to exert influence, is punishable as a crime. All should be aware that this meeting is being recorded. Therefore, before you begin your comments, please state your name and address for the record. With that said, let's proceed with this item. Ms. Meehan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the item before us today is 1119 Dayton Street. It is located in the Dayton Street Historic District. So this property is a circa 1888 Italianate style, two-story painted masonry building located on an interior lot close to the end of Dayton Street where it meets Winchell Avenue. The long, narrow lot runs through to Nair Street in the West End neighborhood. Former carriage houses, garages, and some dwellings front on Nair Street, which is almost more like an alley. It's very narrow. But the building fronts on Dayton. It is currently vacant, but is listed as a two-family dwelling per Hamilton County Auditor site. And it is on an interior lot. There are residential dwellings to either side of this. And then these are just some images of the property provided by the applicant. You can see the rear south elevation here, which is the one that faces Nair Street. You can note it is in poor condition. There's a non-contributing block addition in poor condition on the back. Several of these former door and window openings have been infilled. And then at the roof, I think some of the roof is missing. And then you can also see there are remnants of a two-story porch over on the right-hand side here. And then on this other interior east elevation, which is very close to the adjacent building, you can also see kind of in the middle there are a couple of openings also that have been infilled. So there have been some alterations to this building. So for the proposed conditions, the applicant plans to rehabilitate the existing building as a single-family dwelling. An exterior two-story porch at the east side and a one-story deck at the rear south elevation will be added. The two-story porch will be similar to one that previously existed here, as you could see on the previous slide, but that porch is largely deteriorated. Some window openings that were previously bricked in or blocked in will remain as is, including ones at the south elevation where the infill has not been inset. Existing openings on the east and south elevations. There will be some others that are will be converted to a different use on the east side. I believe there's also a proposal to switch like a window and door opening and maybe to do some additional infill on that side. New windows and doors will be installed throughout. The existing roof will be raised to accommodate more living space at the third floor, and a third floor rooftop deck will be created by removing part of the rear wall at the south, while 3 feet of that wall will remain and act as a guardrail. The existing non-contributing one-story rusticated block addition, which is already kind of in poor condition and falling down, will be demolished the rest of the way. And I would just note that on the next slide, there are 4 elevations that show what the proposed conditions will be. I think in your packet, there was an incorrect slide for the rear south elevation. I would note that the one here in the PowerPoint is the correct elevation and not the one that is in your packet. So there is some additional information in your packet that was from a previous design that was proposed by the applicants. And we did work with them on the design to come up with what we have here today, which we feel is a much more appropriate and compatible look for this residential dwelling. So again, here, just a couple of other, again, you can see the rear south side, which is the more, which is the correct slide. They are proposing to raise the roof and create that side gabled roof, as you see there on the slide for the left east side. So the roof is proposed to be altered from kind of the almost flat kind of shed style it is now to more of a side gable. And we do find that this is appropriate because there are other examples of this type of roof and roof line in the neighborhood. So for a recommendation, staff recommends the Historic Conservation Board take the following actions based on plans dated 2/19/25 submitted with this application by Bray Construction. That the board approve a certificate of appropriateness for 1119 Davis Street, including any revisions submitted for permit, subject to staff review and approval with the following conditions. That the building permits must be issued within 2 years of the decision date, or the certificate of appropriateness shall expire. Replacement and new doors are to be in appropriate style in keeping with the time period of the building, either a 4-panel or half-light panel door. Decking material should be stained or painted per the historic guidelines. Replacement windows on the front of the building are to be the Trimline DHC 200 aluminum clad wood windows, black in color. Any window or door openings that are to be infilled, this would be for new infill, should retain sills and lintels, and infill material brick should be recessed in by 1 inch so the opening still reads on the wall. And the property owner has demonstrated by credible evidence that the proposal substantially conforms to the applicable conservation guidelines.
Thank you. It looks like everyone who signed up today is part of the applicant team. If there's anything you'd like to add, please come forward and identify yourself, and then you can add whatever you'd like.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board for the applicant or staff?
Just one, I'm sorry,
Good.
just one, we normally have an expiration in the approval verbiage, nothing.
Yeah, we usually have a 2-year.
That's it, 2 years.
Is it the
I heard
2
2
year?
years. Condition 1.
Is it in there someplace?
Yep, condition 1.
Okay, no, I see it.
Mr. Sunderman?
I went down there Saturday to check this out. That is the end of Dayton Street. And I give you guys a lot of credit. I looked at that with my eye and thinking like, it's got to come down. But I think, I looked at this and I think you guys are going to make a really nice place out of this. And I applaud you for
Thank
your
you.
vision and doing it.
Work. I know I'm excited, and I think we bought this maybe in September of last year, and we've been working on it ever since. It's
Mhm.
exciting.
Could you identify yourself for the court report?
Oh, yes, I'm Tony Carson. I'm the owner with Buy the Best Flip.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know if anything's going on with the school?
I don't
No, okay, I'm just curious.
have small kids anymore, so that wasn't part of my consideration. I think the TQL and the Union Terminal and the Findlay Market and the West End itself is coming back, and excited to be a part of that, actually.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the certificate of appropriateness for 1119 Dayton Street as laid out by staff.
And second,
Mr. Zelinsko,
aye.
Ms. Dobbins,
Aye.
Mr. Sunderman,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
the chair votes aye. Congratulations, good luck.
All right.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Looks good.
Awesome. That it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think we have any additional business, is that correct?
Thanks, Doug, for your help.
Okay. With that said, I would entertain a motion regarding adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
We were gonna take an over-under bet.